In less than 50 years, China's economy will be the largest in the world, twice the size of the U.S. economy. So where will that leave the United States? Are we slipping? Are we reaching some inevitable tipping point that will change the world as we know it? Is the golden age of America coming to an end?
What's happening right now is the world is moving beyond America because the future is in many ways being shaped in distant places by foreign people.
Fareed Zakaria is editor of Newsweek International. His book, The Post-American World, is a bestseller.
That's the big shift from a world in which America was at the center economically, financially, culturally, militarily, politically, to a world in which there are many centers and many forces from India to China to Brazil to South Africa that have to be taken into account.
The meltdown in the U.S. economy at the moment isn't helping. The price of gas, the mortgage crisis, the weak dollar. The cost, both monetary and political, of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. But the shift, according to Zakaria, is more fundamental.
This is not happening because America is failing or declining. It's happening because the rest are rising.
Isn't the United States supposed to be the place with the biggest and best of everything? The tallest building in the world isn't in New York or Chicago anymore. It's in Taipei. The Mall of America in Bloomington, Minnesota, once the world's largest, isn't even in the top 10 now. The biggest one is in, surprise, surprise, China.
We're not used to foreign competition.
Alan Wolf is an international trade lawyer and former U.S. trade negotiator who specializes in China.
Coming out of World War II, we had a lot of breathing space. The rest of the world's economies were devastated.
But they're catching up. Worldwide, 179 countries are growing faster than we are. As our manufacturing jobs have moved offshore, the United States has counted on innovation to keep its edge. But how much longer will that be possible?
They have a medium and long-term science and technology policy, 2006 to 2020. In that policy, one of the statements is to establish global brands with Chinese technology behind those brands.
Think Japanese cars. When they arrived here in a big way in the 1970s, Detroit didn't see what was coming. Today, Toyota, not GM, is the #1 selling car company in the United States. And just find an American community that wouldn't like a Toyota plant putting people to work. China wants to be next. And how important is innovation and having your own patents for hire?
It's our life's blood. You know, Hire applies for 2 patents every single day.
Every day?
Every day of the year. In fact, it's now more than that.
Michael Jamal is president and CEO of Hire America. Never heard the name? Just wait. Right now, Chinese-owned Hire is trying to buy GE's appliance division. When it entered the U.S. market 9 years ago, the company sold 3 products. Now it sells 3,000. You name it, Hire makes it. Everything from little dorm refrigerators to air conditioners, washing machines to flat-screen TVs.
Hire is the #1 brand in China. In Asia, we're in the top 10. The objective here in the United States is also to build the market share to be in the top 3 in the United States.
Hire is a pioneer, the first big Chinese manufacturer to build a plant in the United States. A $40 million refrigerator factory outside Camden, South Carolina. The Chinese flag hangs alongside the stars and stripes.
Now, this is an American plant. It's run by Americans, and it is staffed by Americans. It is owned by the Chinese.
Joe Sexton is president of Hire American Refrigerators. How many people work here right now?
We have 125 hourly employees and 30 salaried employees.
Half these people used to work in the textile industry. They lost their old jobs to lower-paid workers in Asia. So this is globalization in reverse.
we've been really whacked in textile job loss. We lost about 95,000 direct textile jobs in that process.
South Carolina Governor Mark Sanford says that thanks to foreign investment, the state has made up those losses and then some. The 600-plus foreign companies operating in South Carolina account for 1 out of 5 manufacturing jobs. They employ nearly 200,000 workers.
Capital goes to where it's loved. And we try to be very inviting on that front, not just in terms of tax policy and regulatory policy and other things, but also in terms of direct relationship.
That's happening at the local level in the United States. The federal level is oblivious to it.
International trade lawyer Alan Wolf says the federal government, the president, Congress, must face the new reality of global competition.
We have to change our tax policies, change our immigration policy. We made the United States a magnet, an attractive place for the best and the brightest in the world. We frustrate that by saying, you get a PhD here, and that doesn't matter. Right now, we're throwing you out. That is very self-destructive behavior.
We save too little, we consume too much. We borrow too much from the rest of the world. We use energy in a profligate and wasteful fashion. We have a foreign policy that is...
We've got to change, and soon, says Fareed Zakaria, if we want to hang on to the wealth and influence we have.
I think if we don't, in the next few years, 4 or 5 years, make the necessary adjustments, what you'll see is something that looks a little like the trajectory of the British Empire in the 20th century. It's not that Britain collapsed, it's that it just slowly faded away. At one level, a post-American world is a sign of American failure, and at another level, it's a sign of glorious success. Why is this happening? Because countries around the world are doing what we've been telling them to do for the last 60 years. Open yourselves up to capitalism, to free trade, to technology.